Well, ladies and gentlemen, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the most simple steps to success. And the reason why I'm making this video because last week I was doing like a career consultation for somebody and they asked me in bold, like, besides, whatever you suggest me for a career, what I should do, can you just tell me what is the secret to success? What is, that golden point where you can just find everything and achieve everything? Do you know it? I'm like, yes, I know it. But obviously, for me to tell you that in the email, or in the audio, it's going to take a long time. So I told him, look, I'll make a video on it. And I did make a video on it on my Facebook, which literally, oh my God, like 300,000 people watched because I did it live. So when you do live, it goes like wildfire. But I'm making it here because that video was like really choppy and very small in a square box and, lower quality. So I'm like, let me just make it here for people on YouTube to understand the simple step to success. And as always, if you don't know your astrological placements, if you don't know, what your planetary placements are in astrology, and all my books, reports, consultations for that, check out the links here. So, the thing that you want to understand about success is the separation of these two things that I'm going to talk about. And many people have spoken about it. Many spiritual people have spoken about it. But I didn't really understand this just till last year. Last year, I understood it, which is separation of your desires versus intent. When you separate desire from intent, that is where the real success comes. And the reason why I'm talking about this because I myself at one point was in places where nobody want to wish to be in. I was like cleaning toilets at a elementary school in Orange County, California, under the manager Danny Tate. And he literally taught me some of the best lessons in life. He was like a Marine who was like a custodial manager in this elementary school, and I was just working under him. I needed a job. I needed to make money. But at that particular age that I was like doing all this work, I was too much into desires. And this is why I could not achieve the success that I wanted, that I finally got in the last 5 years, is when I separated my intent from my desires. Like, we have a great desire. I see people who send me emails, like especially when, you're telling me something about yourself before I do your consultation, and you're like, how do I achieve the mass fame? I love to be known. I want to do something big. I want to leave a legacy. How do I do it? So what happens is when you say this to me, that means this is something you're always putting out. How do I be famous? How do I be famous? How do I become famous? How do I leave a legacy? So what you're telling universe is that, look, I just have this desire to leave this, I have the desire to leave this legacy and to be famous. So universe is like, okay, great. Thanks for telling me. I'll keep this as your desire. So what happens is the desire just stays desire, 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 desire. But only when a person has an intent, only when a person applies their life to an intent, that's when everything happens. That's when the fame comes in. That's when the money comes in. That's when the success comes in. And everybody asks me, or everybody asks the world. What is the meaning of success? What is success? And everybody says that everybody has their own version of success. Success, what it means to you is success. No, there is an actual meaning of success. And if you are not in that position, then you're not in success. You're not in the successful position, which is what? What is the meaning of success? Success is doing what you want, when you want, how you want it, without anybody else's permission. That's success. You can apply it to any field. Even if you want to, be a monk, you still have to abide by this success. If you feel like you're successful as a monk, you still have to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, without anybody else's permission. That is success. So now, how do you turn desire into intent? I'll give you an example. A person says, look, I want to be a great Bollywood star. I want to get famous. Do you think I'll be famous? Like, can you please look in my chart to see if I have fame? And just by them saying that to me, that means I already know they're not working hard. They're just looking for some way to just find fame. They want that time period where they can find fame, and they'll do a little bit of work. But the person who becomes famous is the person who has an intent. Meaning, you have an actor who says that, you know what? I want to be the best actor when it comes to roles related to being a gangster, being a mafia, being like a godfather. I want to master this role. So now what you did to the universe, you told the universe, I have an intent. I have an intent to be the best mafia playing actor in the industry, whether it's cinema, theater, television, internet. Now what happens is this person works on their craft because they have set that intent. They watch the movies, they do all these roles, they create a unique role of themselves. They apply for, like, let's say, small roles in a play of a mafia. And because that was their intent to be the best mafia playing character, suddenly that person who had the smallest role in the play stands out. And the theater owner is like, this is interesting. I just got this guy out of nowhere and he just played the best role to the T. Then what happens is people who watch the play, they call the theater, hey, when is this guy coming up next? When is he playing another role? So now that fire builds up. And then now the theater owner is like, look, I want you back. And this time I'm going to give you a bigger role. So he works at his craft more. This person. Then what happens is, once he starts filling up the theater because of his intent to be the best mafia out there, some TV agent comes in. And that TV agent sees him because he has heard about him, word to mouth, whatever, after 6-7 months of performing. And they're like, you know what? I want you as my client. And he sets him up as an audition for role for some big movie studio, television studio, for some mafia series that they're going to make. Like they're making the next Sopranos. And he gives one audition and everybody's flabbergasted. They're like, this is the person to play the role. Now what happens? Fame comes in. He's televised on channels all over US and the world. Money comes in. From making, let's say, $500 a week as a theater actor, now he's making $100,000 per episode. Then he keeps working at it. The season 3, season 4 comes out. He's making $2 million an episode. So now he got the fame. He's got the money. He's got that Ferrari, the Bentley that you desire of. And that what sets two people apart, who has a desire, who has an intent. Same thing with me. I had a desire to be famous and become a great Bollywood actor. I'm like, wow, I wish I could be the next Amitabh Bachchan. Wow, okay. And it was all desire. There was no intent for anything. Then what happened is 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what happened. Woke up. I'm like, I want to teach people astrology. I want to make astrology easier to understand. I want people to have fun with astrology. Because it was at a point where even my mom was like, I will never go to another astrologer. She's so into astrology throughout her life. She used to wear these 3 rings: emerald, white sapphire, and a ruby. And I used to be fascinated by those gemstones as a remedial measure of Vedic astrology, which obviously in my opinion, it's a complete waste of time. But somebody who was really into it, she's like, every time I go to an astrologer, they're just always doom and gloom and always gives me negative things about my life. I don't want to do it anymore. And so it was me going through literally almost spending $20,000 almost into gemstones, remedies. And it's having astrologers scare me that if you don't wear this stone, this could happen. You need it now. And I'm like, that's it. I want to change this. I want to make astrology fun, easy, and I want to show the actual reality of astrology. So what happened that day at 2 a.m., I set an intent. Even before that, I think a year and a half to 2 years before that, I was laid off from my job. And from that day onwards, from my mortgage position, I made an intent that I will never ever work under someone else. Even if I have to be hungry for 10 years, I will not do that. Because I did not want to go through that situation again where you're working, everything is fine, and you think, you're going to go to Vegas in 2 weeks and you're saving money and you're like, oh yeah, everything is good. And then next thing you know, your boss calls you in the office and say, Raj, I don't need you anymore. You were great, but we have too many properties, in our stock, and we are still trying to sell them, because I used to bid on properties for my broker. I used to go and inspect property and see, okay, let's get this property. This is how it should be. This is how much it should be. It was a great position. They had given me a car, great position. I used to just go all over, Southern California. But boom, it just ends like that. So that day, I sent an intent that, universe, I will not work for under anybody. I need to do my own thing. From there, I did my photography business with my friend. Did very well. Although it wasn't my passion, but I was very good at using cameras from filmmaking. I have that artistic, mind. So I knew exactly where to put what light, how to position people. It came easy to me. And then from there, I started another business. So then I was in a flow of like, okay, I'm on my own now. It was a great feeling. But it wasn't there. I mean, I still wanted like you say to me in the email, I wanted to do something big in my life. I want to, do this in my life. So that was that moment for me at 2 a.m. that I want to bring astrology in a very fun way, positive way. How do I do it? And then YouTube was the avenue, because now you can connect to people through eye to eye. They can see me. They can, feel me, feel my passion for astrology. And from that moment on, this is like now not just an obsession, but it's literally a part of my soul. It's my breathing. I breathe astrology. So you see, what happened is I separated my desire from an intent. My intent was to make astrology fun. My intent was to bring astrology in a positive way. It wasn't to get fame. It wasn't to, get my Ferrari and all that. My desire, okay, if you want to know my desire wasn't like most people at my mortgage company. They had posters of like Ferrari, Bentley, and the Hawaiian vacation, or a big mansion, and you could see this is what they're desired. You know what my desire was? From the moment I entered the job force, my desire was to be in a room. To be in a room all day, in a weekday, and working, and not be bothered by anybody. and not worry about promotion, not worry about sitting in traffic, not worry about clocking in, clocking out, not worry about office politics, not worry about how much, how many promotions I'll get or whatnot. My desire was, I just want to be by myself, secluded in an isolated place, in my one little room, and I don't want to be bothered by the world. I just want to be by myself. That was my deepest and deepest of desires. And here I am in front of you in a very isolated place in the United States, in middle of nowhere country. I have this isolated house, this room, where I sit, get up in the morning. I come here by 8, 9, 10, whatever. And that's it. This is the way I connect with the world. So my intent fulfilled my desires. Now, it doesn't matter if you believe in astrology or not. That's okay. This is your destiny to not believe in astrology. Absolutely fine. But this video is not really about astrology. It's about the simplest way to really do what you want to do in life. Regardless of how bad or good your horoscope is, when you set an intent, everything goes out of your way. All the planets. That's the secret of astrology. Even grandfather of B.B. Raman said that all bad curses in horoscope can be changed through willpower and divine grace. That willpower only works, though, when you have an intent. When you don't have an intent, your willpower, like Mars, your strength, your courage, your energy, goes to waste because you were using that energy for desires. If I say my desire is to get a Ferrari, I want to get a Ferrari. We all want a Ferrari, right? Of course I have a desire. I want a Bentley. I want a Ferrari. Okay, so I'm desiring. I want a Ferrari. And that's all the universe looks at. It's reading your energy. He wants a Ferrari. Okay, that's a desire. I'll keep it a desire for him. That's what this person wants. I'll keep it a desire for him. They just want one Ferrari. But once you set an intent towards universe, that I want to do this. I want to fix Ferraris. That's what I want to do. I want to fix Ferraris. So that's where the intent comes into play. Now universe has a better idea. Okay, this person wants to fix Ferrari. So let me bring him situations related to, getting into mechanic school, going to, Italy and working there with some mechanic who gives them a connection to somebody who's working in the Ferrari factory, and they give it an interview, and next thing you know, they're becoming a Ferrari, automotive fixer or mechanic, and that's where they are. That's where their intent was. So always have an intent for your life, and this is where you will not feel lost. So every time I look at a chart of somebody, I'm looking not what they're desiring. Okay, I'm looking for the intent. What is the intent in the chart? When you go towards the end, and here's the thing, like I received a prediction at the age of 19. I went with my mother to somewhere in Southern California. This old 80-year-old guy was there. At that time I was in astrology, but nothing. I had no clue about Vedic astrology. Anytime my mom showed me that diamond chart, my uncle used to call me every birthday, talk to me about the astrology thing, and sends me a letter. I'm like, what is this? I just used to go towards the writing. So this person said, look, he's going to be following in the footsteps of his uncle. And at that time, I did not care. I had no desire to go into astrology full-fledged. My desire was to become filmmaker and actor and whatnot. Didn't care for it. But like what happens is when destiny and the wheel of time comes, everything changes. You are nothing. You think you want this and that. No. Your intent that the universe has set up for you, that's when you feel alive. So at 2 a.m., boom, set up an intent. And 2:30 a.m. or something, I opened up my channel. And, from that point on, started this. And I actually had a channel before KRSchannel. It was called and I closed it and I restarted KRSchannel. So I mean, I went through ladder transformation, but the thing is, the intent was there 24/7. That my life is, I want to people to not be fearful of astrology. I don't want people to be fearful of reading about Saturn or Rahu or Ketu, because for me, the way my brain works, I saw these planets in a completely different light. I saw the 8th house in a completely different light. I saw the 12th house in a completely different light. And that's all I did. Well, I just brought whatever my brain connects with, how it connects with different things of astrology. I just shared that with the world. So that is the most simplest, the most important step you will ever need in your life to be successful. Okay. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, got something out of it. But if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Because if you like astrology, this is the place for you. And if you like to know what your horoscope looks like, where your planets are, all my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, I will see you Monday. Bye-bye.